Good day, students. You're welcome once more to my channel. Today we shall be looking at joint variation. Now recall that in the previous two classes we've looked at direct and inverse variation. Now what is joint variation? When the value of a quantity is proportional to two or more other variables, we say there is a joint variation. Now follow me closely. So in joint variation, we can either have two direct variation, we can have a direct variation and an inverse variation, or a combination of both the direct and the inverse variation. Let's look at some examples. Example 1. If a quantity, let me use quantity, if a quantity D varies directly as another quantity M, as M, and inversely as T. When D is equal to 10, M is equal to 8, and T is equal to 5. The first question. Find the relationship connecting all quantities. The B part of the question. Find D when M is equal to 6 and T is equal to 2.5. Alright, now there's a question given to us. The question says, if a quantity D varies directly as M and inversely as T, when D is equal to 10, let me be consistent with my capital letter for D. When D is equal to 10, M is 8 and T is 5. A. Find the relationship connecting all quantities. B. Find D when M is 6 and T is 2.5. Alright, let's quickly solve this question. Solution. Now, with our understanding of direct and inverse proportion or variation when we did them, you should be able to interpret this question correctly. Now, they said if a quantity D, we write our D. They said it varies. You put your variation sign. Varies. Directly as what? M. When we did direct variation, if it varies as M, you just put your what? M. And inversely as T means this same D varies inversely as what? T. You can see it. I've interpreted this question as D varies directly as M and the same D varies inversely as what? T. We said for inverse you do 1 all over. Now, to combine these two, because we are having D is just a variable, a quantity that is constant there. So we'll be having D varies directly as M and inversely as T. Now, this is the interpretation of this sentence. D varies directly as M and inversely as T. I just combined this. Alright, let's continue here. The next thing to do is what? Take away your variation sign and introduce the equality and your constant. Your constant can be any variable you want to, but you must define it. Now I like using K as my constant, so I'll introduce my constant K. Then I'll now write my M over T. So I'll be having my M over t. I now define where k is a constant. Alright, now I've defined that. Now they gave me some values. D, M, and T. They gave me values for them. So I'll introduce it into this equation. Let's call this equation 1. Anywhere I see D, I put what? 10. 10 equal to, my k is a constant, which is what we are looking for. M, my M is 8. 8 over, my T is what? 5. So I'll cross multiply. I'll be having 10 times 5 is what? 50 equal to 8k. I'll divide both sides by 8 to get my value of what? K. 8 cancel 8. So my k is equal to, what can go? 2 can go here, 25. 2 can go here, 4. So I'm having 25 over 4. Let me leave it as a fraction. Alright, I've gotten my value of k as 25 over 4. Now, the next thing, the first question says what? The first question says find the relationship connecting all quantities. This is the equation for the relationship. All I need to introduce is my value of what? K. So I'll come back to this. I'll be writing my relationship as D equal to, anywhere I see K, which is a constant, I put what? 25 over 4. Then I have my M, I have my T. So this is the relationship. So I'm having it as 25m over 40. That is the relationship. Alright, the B part of the question quickly. The B part says what? Find D when M is 6 and T is 2.5. We introduce it here. My D is 25 times my M is what? 6 over 4. My T is what? 2.5. Alright, so I'll be having this as 25 times 6, 6 times 5, 30, 0 carry 3, 12, 15 over 4 times 2.5, 10. 0 cancels 0, so my D is equal to 15. Alright, we got our value for D as what? 15. Now we've solved this question. We are going to take another example to also understand further how to solve questions on joint variation. Alright, our example 2 is on the board, and the question says the force F needed to stop a car varies directly as its weight W and the square root of the velocity V, and inversely as the distance D traveled. When F is 36 Newton, W is 120 kilogram, V is 100 km per hour, and D is 50 km. Calculate the force required for V equal to 256 km per hour, W equal to 200 kg, and D equal to 800 km. Alright, let's solve this. Let's interpret the first part. Alright, it says what? The force F varies directly. If you look at this question now, you are having more than 3 variables. You're having 4 variables. The force F needed to stop a car varies directly as its weight W also varies directly as the square root of velocity V. The square root of velocity what? V. And then what? Inversely. And inversely as the distance D. Inversely means over as the distance D. Alright, we've been able to interpret this first part of the question. Now what next you do? You take away your proportionality sign. You have F equal to, what do you now introduce? You introduce your constant, but you must define the constant. I use my constant as K. Then I write W root V over D. But I must define where K is a constant. Don't forget to always define what your constant is, because every of these variable has been defined in the question. You introduce K, so you must define K as the constant. Alright, I continue here. Now the question gave us values. When F is 36, so in this equation, anywhere I see F, I put what? 36. 36 equal to, I don't know my value of K. is a constant. That's what we are looking for. W is 120. This is my W. I have what? 120 times square root of V. What's my value for V in the question? V is what? 100. 100 all over D. What's the value for D? D is 50. I have 50. So I'll be having 36 equal to 120 times square root of 100 is what? 10 times my K all over what? 50. Cross multiply to get your value for K. So my K will be what? 36 times 50 all over this times this is what? 1200. So punch your calculator. Let me punch my own calculator also while you do the same thing there, so we get the same answer. 36 times 50 divided by 1200. I have my K as 1.5. So I've gotten my value of K as 1.5. Now if the question asks you for the relationship, you come back to this equation and put your value of K. So let's assume they asked us for the relationship. So I'll be having F to be equal to, my K is what? 1.5. Then I write all this, W root V all over what? D. Now this is the relationship. You can see that it's only the value of K that we'll put there because it's a constant. All other variables there can be changed. Alright, now we come to the question. The question says we should calculate what? The force F that's required for V equal to 256. W is this and D is this. So I'll be having my F to be equal to 1.5 times my W is what? 200 times square root of my V is what? 256. 256 all over my value for D 800. So you can still do the same thing, punch your calculator to get your answer. 1.5 times 200 times square root of 256. I believe it's 14. No, I believe it's 24. You can confirm that. Square root of 256. Just do 24 times 24 if it will give you. Okay. $16 all over 800. So my F will be equal to, punch out these values. I have 16 times 200 times 1.5 divided by 800. I'm having 6. Don't forget to write your unit, because in the question when they gave us our F, they told us F is in what? Newton. So you also introduce your unit as Newton. So F is 6 Newton. Alright, we'll solve 2 questions now on joint variation. Now, I'll be leaving a practice question for you so that you can try your hands on it, and also for the WAEC students, ensure you go through your past WAEC questions to determine if you'll be able to solve any question on variation. The next question you'll be seeing on the board will be your practice question. Alright, our practice questions for this topic. The first question says, the heat produced by a battery is directly proportional to time t and square of voltage V, and inversely proportional to resistance R. When H is 120, T is 2, V is 24, and R is 80. What is the law connecting the variables? That's the first part of the question. The B part says calculate H when T is 3 over 2, V is 120, and R is 60. The number 2 question says P varies directly as Q squared and inversely as square root of R. When Q is 8 and R is 25, P is equal to 16. Find P when Q is 5 and R is 9. I believe if you're able to solve these 2 questions, you should be able to solve any question involving joint variation. If you have any question or you have a submission to make, you can comment on the comment section of this video. Now, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also keep notifications on so you can always be notified when a new video drops. I celebrate you.